all I'm going to be using this for is the pass-through. I'm just going to connect the fiber optic directly into the processor. This is not going to affect the data at all. Hey guys, welcome back for another video. So I am in the middle of the project here, just kind of getting things spaced out, thinking through everything and planning for what's next. Bought one new piece of equipment that I will go through here in a second, and I want to tell you what my plans are for some pretty simple A/B testing. I'm basically going to have two completely separate systems all the way to my speakers. That's going to make it really easy. Now, I'm only going to do that for 2-channel audio. There's no way for me to do a true A/B test for surround sound. So I will be able to objectively listen and, of course, watch movies and demo scenes and things like that. But I won't be able to simply switch a cable and go from one to the other, like I will be able to with 2-channel, because I'm going to make up a completely identical set of cables just for my mains. And please excuse my voice, kind of getting over a head cold or something. Got myself a hot toddy, been going through those all day. Not all with the good stuff in it, but anyway, I've got just good, nothing unusual, 12-gauge oxygen-free copper, same as I'm currently running, but I'm not going to dress it up. No sleeves, no cable pants, no braiding, nothing like that. Just simple cables and the same banana plugs. And I also want to show you what I did to keep them, gotta keep them separated, all worked out here. So these are the finalized adapters that go into the Phoenix connectors. So this will plug into the back of the amps when I'm ready for that, and everything here is completely separate. So all of my speaker cables can plug in just like they were in the back of, a normal device with binding posts. And they don't touch each other. Not possible. Nice and sturdy. And there you go. So what I did is simply use 4 zip ties. I know, real expensive, right? So you get your Phoenix connector, you plug in your pins, and I'll put links down to this stuff in case, I'm not imagining many people will have the case to do this, but in case you are wondering and want to, you put 4 of these in, you get yourself 1 zip tie, just make a big loop. That is going to go around all 4 of them, and then 1 little one in between, just to make these spacers. And you just tighten them and then cut off the ends. And that's it. Nice and simple and cheap. These are dirt cheap. What were they, $10 for 2 pairs of them? So not much at all. And they're very high quality. These aren't cheap Chinese stuff. I actually looked for the cheap Chinese stuff. There is nothing on AliExpress, on Temu, on Alibaba. I found these on Amazon, and it's a company called WJSTN. As far as I can tell, they're the only ones making them, and that's fine because they're nice. So I'll get those all made up. Now for the ones for my front, center, and right, those are going to be bridged. So I'm only going to be using the outers, and I'll only have 2 wires per Phoenix connector. So obviously just the 1 zip tie in the center to separate it. So I'll have 3 pairs, and then the other ones will all be gangs of 4 for all my surround and Atmos speakers. Now, one thing that I did have to buy for this, just for this project, is an additional streamer. And this is kind of a concept that I had to wrap my head around back when I first started getting into processors, away from entry-level and mid-grade receivers. Here's the thing that some people aren't going to be aware of. I certainly wasn't. Maybe you guys are. Maybe I'm the weird one. Usually when you spend more money on something, like a car, for example, you got your base model, you got your mid-grade models, you got your upper tier, whatever. You spend more, you get more. Pretty simple concept. And that is absolutely 100% true with every receiver out there. You spend a little bit, you get your basic one. You get your 5.1, you maybe get 40 watts a channel. You get some basic HDMI functions, maybe a little bit of EQ in there, and that's about it. You can pick something up for $300 these days, totally entry level, You start going to the mid-ranges and the upper tiers, you get more inputs, you get more power, more channels, room correction, streamers built in, Bluetooth connectivity, AirPlay, all these features. And they just keep adding and adding and adding until you get to these huge behemoths that are costing $4,000 or $5,000, and they have every feature under the sun. Now, here's the problem with receivers. It doesn't matter how much you spend on a receiver. You will never get the best of anything in a receiver. You physically can't, because everything is in one box and everything interferes with everything else. So you've got all those features. Let's say if sound quality, pure sound quality in every sense of the word, is your priority. You have that signal now going past or through or around huge power supplies, amplification circuits, multiple wires, signal traces, display boards, HDMI switchers, all this kinds of stuff that is in that receiver. Not to mention, the DACs in it are not going to be absolutely top of the line, because everything in there has to be priced at a point that makes sense to manufacture and profit from. If you made the best of everything in there, they'd be double the price. Not going to happen. So none of them are great. And that's when you go from even the best receivers to separates, as they're commonly called in the home theater realm. You've got your processor and your amplifiers completely separate. Now, that not only lets you mix and match to change power conditions and go to different channel configurations and all that kind of good stuff, so you're not locked into whatever the receiver came from anymore, but it separates physical things from the boxes. So no longer do you have that signal in the processor being affected in any way by the power supply and the amplification circuits in that part of the equation. So all of a sudden, you start paying more for a processor and you're getting less features. You no longer have amplification. So what the heck? That's kind of that mindset that I had to wrap my head around. I'm paying more, technically getting less, but only feature-wise, only that checklist-wise. Quality-wise, you just got more. It just cost you a lot more. And processors alone are very much like the same thing. The processor I have now, it's not top of the line. I'm going to call it a mid-range. It's definitely not entry level. It has some really good stuff in it, but it has a lot of stuff in it, including all the networking and streamers built in. It has built-in Wi-Fi. It's got your Tidal Connect, your Spotify Connect, AirPlay, Chromecast, Bluetooth in, all of that built into the box. And the Actors processors are more pure. They don't have any of that. And the clientele that are buying the kinds of things at this level have everything separated already. They have external streamers. They have external DACs. I mean, the top of the line streamers cost more than my car. I'm not subscribing to that kind of thing. If you are, that's fine. More power to your wallet. But that's the reality of it. Those types of clientele have things separated. Now, because I need to A/B test stuff, and my choice of music is Tidal, I use Tidal Connect. If you're unfamiliar with what Spotify Connect or Tidal Connect is, they are simply the best way to get music to your device, whatever it is. Here's how it works. The cheapest way, the most basic way of getting your music to a device is Bluetooth streaming, right? You got your phone, and you pull up your, let's say, Spotify app, and you start playing your music. It's coming over the network via Wi-Fi. It's playing. Now you want to send it out to your stereo system. And you connect to Bluetooth speaker. It then sends that data processed back out through another radio to your processor, which then processes it more and starts playing it. Your phone is acting as both control and a signal relay and processor. It is impossible to get top quality, let alone really good quality, out of that kind of configuration. So what they have is called Connect. This is removing all of the data from your control device. It is basically turning your phone or tablet into a pure remote control. And it's not only great for quality, it's great for use. Because now you have the full interface, and I love the Tidal interface. It's super easy to search stuff, look at the lyrics, go through your playlists and recommended stuff. It's just a really nice interface that I like Spotify is also very good, and so are a lot of the other music services out there. But Spotify and Tidal are the only ones like this with the Connect service. The device, if it's a Connect service, which this is, which my current processor is, that receives the data directly from the internet, directly from Tidal. So your phone is just remote controlling your device. It says, start playing this song. And the device says, hey, Tidal, send me the song. And it just starts playing. No processing, no interference, no connection through the phone, no degradation. And it supports the highest quality, whatever is available for that particular track. So I got this because it is the, frankly, most inexpensive way to get the best quality for Tidal Connect. There are a lot of devices out there that are Tidal Connect devices, but this one is about 80 bucks. It looks and is about the size of your normal Echo Dot. It has very basic output connections. All I'm going to be using this for is the pass-through. I'm just going to connect the fiber optic directly into the processor. This is not going to affect the data at all. It's going to receive it directly from Tidal, pass it through the optical, and that's it. That's all it's going to do. It's unfortunately what I had to spend $80 to do. But it keeps the signal completely pure because none of what this is doing is now inside the Acurus processor, keeping the signal most pure. And that's also why some processors, I just learned, don't have an on-screen display. For example, when you adjust the volume, having that overlay as part of the video stream does slightly pollute in some ways. I'm not saying I can tell, but does affect the video signal because it is reprocessing that video signal to get that volume display on the screen. Again, not saying I could ever notice it, but that's a reason why some processors don't have an on-screen display. Anyway, let's open this up real quick. I'll just show you it real quick. There's not a whole lot to it. I run one of these in my office. I have a very basic 5.1 system, both for music, but the 5.1 is for gaming. And I stream music to it through this, and it just plugs simply into my little preamp. Here's your manual, and here's the device. I mean, it weighs absolutely nothing. There you go. So on the back, you've got your toss link. That's what I'm going to use. Your power connection, you've got an aux audio out 3.5 jack and an aux in. It's as simple as it gets. Now, the company Wiim has a ton of different models. They all do Tidal Connect and Spotify Connect. This is the lowest model on their list. They have a big comparison table on their website. If you want to check it out, it goes as far, they just released a couple months ago their new Ultra model. You can make these the center of your system. If you pair them with audiophile quality active speakers, some of their models have good enough DACs in them and good enough processors in them that they are stellar music systems as the core. You can have screens, you can have volume control and all that. So they're much more than just what I'm using it for. But if you're just looking for a basic connectivity, this is the one you want because it's going to do everything for you. It supports all the services. And virtually anything is going to have a fiber optic input, and it's just going to pass through. Now, one note, the fiber optic is limited to 96 kilohertz. However, not a lot of source material out there is recorded at or above 96 kilohertz. And if, like me, you're already running something that has Dirac, you're already limited to 48 anyway. So it doesn't matter. Oh, and I did reach out to Acurus, and they are sending me feet, so I'll be able to show you those on the devices as well. So in case you like to shelf mount things, you can see what they look like. For now, I've got some Crocin isolators underneath right now, and these are little butt kicker isolators, basically sorbethane, just to keep things from scratching and all that. So that's it for this video. Just wanted to catch you up. Next up, I will be taking a look at the Muse, and we will run through its control. And I'm also going to hook up the amps and run you through their configurations. Should be pretty simple and straightforward. And then the fun begins pulling out my rack. See you next time.